we're sorry for the stream problems. It's not been a great technical day, but we are back into the FKC on this Pikachu down game 1, looking to make a run back happen. You got 2 stock by Zucchini on the Bowser, and out the gate, things are pretty even, but that's exactly how game 1 started as well.
Yeah, started off incredibly even indeed, and it's going to be very difficult. Like, I cannot say it enough for KC to find any kind of value against a Bowser, one of the weakest hitters in the game being Pikachu, and the heaviest character in the game being Bowser. We're really going to see KC struggle unless they can find just an absolute massive lead.
Yeah, we are on a flat stage, which has its ups and downs for Pikachu. It's not like the tri-flat where it can get those ladder combos, but the biggest thing in the matchup is there's no platform for Bowser to get that Bowser bomb on. We saw that come out in game 1. We saw Casey die very early to that Bowser bomb on the top platform, so it's something he's very scared of. And Zucchini with an off-stage air dodge means he's going to die. And now it's a really nice early lead for Casey, only 87%.
This is the early lead Casey needed that I was just talking about. This is the room you need to be able to really put the damage into a Bowser, and after Zucchini hands you a stock like that, you really need to take advantage of it as much as you can.
Yeah, we saw a good little back air string, but it didn't get that much of a conversion out of it, so it's only 25% on Zucchini, but Casey's still holding on to his stock, trying to make extra happen, but he's going to actually survive that Bowser bomb with some good DI, and now he's got another chance to keep building up this percent. 39 on Bowser, finds the grab, and now Bowser's stuck off stage, gonna get gimped by the Thunder setup off of the back row, and now Casey is looking so clean.
Hey, Casey apparently just needed to warm up to that first round to really start putting in the work. Currently has that 2 stock advantage, 156% on their 3rd stock still. So they really have all 3 unblinded. That's gonna without a doubt kill a character as light as Pikachu. Still has that 2 stock lead, but now they've got to play a little bit more careful because getting too aggressive could still cost them.
Yeah, you have to be so careful as Pikachu in this matchup. You'll really die to anything. Like a bad wind hitting you the wrong way will kill you if you're Pikachu against a Bowser. So,
yeah, no doubt.
Already going up to 66%. Casey can't be feeling too comfortable. He's only put 31% onto Zucchini's last stock, but these combos are coming in a little better for him now. He's building up more percent for himself, and if he gets Zucchini up to 70, 80% by the time he loses his stock, that's feeling fine, and it looks like he's definitely on pace to beat that metric.
Yeah, no doubt, definitely on pace indeed. It's going to be a tie for percent, but that isn't going to kill yet. The Bowser Bomb, no platform, can't go off the top of the map. Right now, KC getting a little close to this being a little too close for comfort, but still has that mild advantage, so can dump in just a little bit of extra damage. Yeah,
it's very close for a while, but it's definitely widening out. 110 on Zucchini means a solid hit. Could do it if we're right next to the blast zones on the side of the stage. Only 100% on Casey means it would have to be a big hit from Bowser. We've seen Casey's DI has been great, but with the scoop on the down B, no DI is saving you, and now it's looking scary. The Bowser has rage. You have to feel confident if you're Casey, but in the back of your mind, this Bowser has rage, right? Anything can happen.
Yeah, at the back of your mind, you know one false step in this series still does not end in your favor. So right now, KC very, very scared of whatever's coming next. But right now, Zucchini 151%. That is kill.
Not going to do it. Oh, it is definitely kill potential. Even Pikachu can be killing at this percent. So the dunk, he doesn't text. He texts but no up B. I don't know what happened there, but he just drifts down into the blast zone. And it's going to be 1 stock going Casey's way. And very importantly, he's going to keep himself in contention for the 2 points he received for winning the set. We're going to go to a game 3 here.
Yeah, we're going to go to the technical game 3. Both of these players able to take a stock off of one another, a map off one another. And now it's going to come down to this final situation. And KC definitely took that tiny break and that tiny amount of time to really adapt to Zucchini's play style and make a lot of really big changes.
Yeah, it looked so good from Casey. Of course, we did see an SD come from Zucchini, a very unfortunate one. But also, on that second stock, we saw an incredible GIMP setup. he got a kill on a Bowser at like 50%. That's insane.
Yeah, that really is crazy. We know that's where KC really thrives, is when they're able to get a little bit cheeky off the side of the map and land some very nasty combos. We saw
that's
it last
Pikachu's
week.
natural habitat.
Yeah, that's where Pikachu really thrives. And Bowser, not exactly known for his off-stage game, so definitely a good place to have him.
Yeah, you can catch Pikachu's Viridian Forest and offstage by the Blast Zones. Those are the two places. So gotta look out for that.
Yeah, most definitely. And as we move into this third engagement, I think, like you said earlier, Zucchini has a lot of versatility when it comes to being able to play different heroes or different characters. And I think Bowser still is definitely working out, but I also maybe wouldn't be surprised to see a swap just to throw Casey off his game a little bit.
I think we're going to see the Bowser. I think Zucchini's a little bit committed into it. I think it's where he's feeling the most comfortable right now, but I wouldn't be too surprised if we did see a switch. I have word from the players that we are going to be going to Pokemon Stadium 2, which is a very big stage. And yeah, there's the switch onto Mewtwo. Makes perfect sense.
Poetic.
Yeah, really great stage for Mewtwo compared to the Bowser. He has a lighter body, which means he's better at abusing the larger blast zones, larger size of this stage, as well as these Shadow Balls and the Reflector being very, very important in the matchup. But the Reflector being said, he takes 12% from Thunder Jolts out the gate.
Yeah, and Mewtwo, a very unique character in the game. There's not really anybody else quite like him. He's got a very individual play style, and it's something that you really need to be able to hone in with if you want any chance of success. He's a very high-risk, high-reward character, and right now, he took the risk, but he's not exactly reaping the rewards, so there's still plenty of time for this to turn either way.
There's plenty of time indeed, but I have to imagine, stage pick aside, Casey has to be feeling better about playing against a Mewtwo than against the Bowser. It's going to be so much easier to kill. You can go for so many more shenanigans, so many more setups are really going to work. Those forward air down smashes are going to be very deadly. That jab gimp is insane for Casey. That's so important. 51% on him means he's going to have so much time to build up percent on this Mewtwo. Remember, he's not against a Bowser. Besides that forward air, that Shadow Claw, nothing is really going to be threatening Casey's stocks before 110, 120.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Zucchini may be regretting the swap a little bit. They're down, but they're not out. And playing Mewtwo versus playing Bowser like you were moments ago is a very different play style. It's something you're going to have to work to improve. And again, the recovery does not.
Zucchini goes way too low there.
Kind of handing Casey a victory here. We're going to see a very impressive reverse. Oh,
no way. Okay, yeah.
I really thought it was over for a second. That was
that's the spike hitbox off stage. It does that auto. No, not confident. The forward air does clean up that stock, but Zucchini is so behind in a matchup with so much less comeback potential.
Yeah, a lot of comeback potential is still under the belt, but it's not enough, and KC would really have to start floundering if we saw Zucchini having any chance of success. So right now, you just got to play the defensive long game and hope that your opponent really starts to screw up.
We also see Zucchini looking a lot more uncomfortable on this Mewtwo than he was on the Bowser, and I think it's really costing him here. A great little string going to send Zucchini into pretty deep disadvantage, and Pikachu's ledge trapping is nothing to be scoffed at, but the Thunder Jolt clips Zucchini, and again, a third short up the recovery means that that's going to be a pretty convincing two-stock for Casey, and now everything is tied back up. We are dead even in points. After two incredibly close sets, one going to Marist and one going to Canisius, we now have points totals at 6-6, tying the score up for both players, which means a Fly versus Absol coming up in just a few moments is going to be an incredibly critical turning point in the match. Whoever wins that is going to have the lead. They're going to have the tempo, and it's going to be so important for them moving forward.
Yeah, no doubt. They're really going to have to really set the precedent for the rest of their teams and their opponents. They need to put their team in the lead because, like you said, it is down to the point tied right now. All of these matches have been incredibly close, except maybe that last one on Pokemon Stadium there. But other than that, these matches have been neck and neck the entire time. And when we come back from this break, we're probably going to see more very good matches. These schools are really giving each other a run for their money. So we'll see you guys on the other side of this quick break.
are getting into the critically important Game 3 between Canisius College and Marist College. We have Canisius's A Fly on the Game & Watch going up against Marist College's Absol. It's not Zucchini running the pack. He just had not switched off switches. It is Absol on this Pokemon trainer. And for anyone who missed it, we started out with 2 incredibly close sets, and now even the points are dead tied between the 2 teams. So whoever wins this set will take the advantage for their team.
Yeah, and this set looking a little bit close, but right now A Fly on this Game & Watch is really getting some damage, dropping a 60% comp very early on, and it looks like tries to find the elimination.
Yeah,
so
but the magnet hands bring him back. Absol barely able to survive with that Charizard up B, but 121% on him against the Game & Watch is not... Okay, never mind. Rage is just OP, I guess.
Game & Watch is just like the Charizard gets just an absolute hit trying to take one off the map.
Yeah.
Gonna top it back up very quickly though in that 1-to-1, 2 stocks left for each, and this is where A Fly really shined last time, able to get that 60% combo. We'll have to see if they're able to do it again.
Yeah, it's really a good spot for him. The Ivysaur in this matchup is incredibly powerful. Game & Watch is a character known for having some difficulties dealing with disjoints. He's really good at punishing people who do unsafe things on field, but he doesn't have a great way to get around something like the back air, like the vines from the Ivysaur, so it makes the matchup look good. But that being said, a great dunk from A Fly, and besides that, A Fly has been playing it really well. But once again, Absol firing back immediately, evening up the stock out, and now we're 0-0 last stock here.
Yeah, this is the scariest place for A Fly to be, is against a low percent Charizard who can really take advantage of the fact that A Fly weighs 3 pounds. This Charizard really can get very aggressive and you can find the value, but A Fly really struggling to make much happen against such a heavy-hitting opponent.
The Game & Watch, I believe, the 3rd lightest character in the game since he is literally 2-dimensional. A great little bucket there, instantly fills up off the fire because it is a multi-hitting energy projectile. But the down smash is going to clip the air dodge. Not a whole lot of options for A Fly at that point. And it's going to be Absol taking game 1 in a 1 stock. And going forward, I really don't feel like that was convincing. I feel like A Fly is very solidly still in it and can stay very competitive.
Yeah, other than that last stock, which happened quite quickly, but as a Game & Watch against a Charizard, there's only so little you can do. But I agree, A Fly had a very aggressive start to that match, and really, even with both the eliminations that were found, were very competitive and very quick to really prove Game & Watch isn't a hero to be looked down upon. Just Pokemon Trainer has a little bit more versatility and can shift to change no matter how Game & Watch is choosing to approach the situation. So right now, Game & Watch definitely in a deficit, but A Fly is such an impressive Game & Watch that I'm not sure that'll really matter in the long run.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough matchup. There's so many different tools that Pokemon Trainer has to beat the Game & Watch, but when you are such a good Game & Watch, we saw up until the end, he really was navigating around it very well. So I'm sure he'll be able to make it happen for himself. He'll be able to run it back. And now he's going to his counter pick. So that should definitely help a lot in the matchup for him here. I wonder what the counter pick is going to end up being. It looks like it's going to be Kalos. Looking in the captain's chat, the bands were Battlefield and Town and City, which are interesting bands. Typically, you see a Battlefield band paired with a Yoshi Story band because you're trying to target tri-plat stages, but I guess that was not the case this time. We are going to be going to Kalos. A very flat stage with a very high ceiling.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah, we talked about that earlier. The ceiling is definitely something that you can find value in Kalos with, and it's those close those close blast zones on either side that are very aggressive and could actually help Game & Watch with that offstage value.
Yeah, it helps a lot. The stage spikes for Game & Watch are very relevant. He can go deep and up B and bounce you off the wall back out toward the blast zone. It helps cover a lot of options that way. It's just really nice for him. Squirtle notably does have a wall jump on the stage.
Yeah, the wall jump is an important one to know about because it can keep that team alive depending on who's really out when you get below the stage there. Right now, we're going to see A Fly hitting an early 23% once again, finding some early value, but this could really turn around in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, it can't turn around in the blink of an eye, especially when you're playing characters like the Squirtle, like the Ivysaur, who are so good at racking up that 3%. But great spacing so far from a Fly on this Gaming Watch to keep Absol at bay, keep the percent lead in his favor, just find these hits here and there, build up your advantage a little bit, just inch by inch. He's making more percent in his favor.
Yeah, absolutely. You give a Fly an inch, and he's definitely able to take a mile in terms of percentage. You give him the opportunity to get one hit, and he always turns it into some kind of combo, racking up 10, maybe even 20 or 30% with them. And right now, we're seeing a definite change from our Ivysaur as the playstyle, much slower, much more patient.
Great ledge trap option lead means the forward smash is going to take the stock, and now Zucchini, this is exactly where you want to be. You're only at 82%, you have the stock lead, you're playing for extra credit, you hit 2 up smashes in a row, and Game & Watch might have some trouble killing here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be difficult for Game & Watch to find a lot of value, because again, that Charizard is just so heavy, there's not much you can do against him. So right now a Fly really going to struggle to find any kind of value other than just trying to gimp him off the map.
Yeah. But 83%, really, really close to connecting that up B. But the up B from the Charizard from Absol is going to reverse things a little bit. And now 149 full rate. This might kill, and it does off the top.
Yeah, this is looking like it's going to be a much less close match than we saw earlier, as we see this Charizard just absolutely taking advantage of the fact that Game & Watch is that 5-pound, 2-dimensional hero, and Charizard is a tank himself, very difficult to knock off the stage with a lot of heroes. So the fact that Game & Watch is able to even find that elimination speaks volumes for how well a Fly can play that Game & Watch.
Really great down smash from a Fly there. Takes the 1 stock off of Absol, but still down so much. Still down an entire stock and down in percent. It's a big hill to climb. He's finding some nice little swings for himself here, but Absol on this Charizard, putting Game & Watch to 86%. When you're so light, it's hard to make those comebacks happen because any little thing will do it. He does get some good percent off the bucket, and a missed flare growth gets Absol disadvantage, but it's looking really rough. We have a ledge trap here, and it might be lights out.
Yeah, it really is looking like lights out here for a Fly that just barely stays alive a little bit longer. 120% on Game & Watch is terrifying, and this isn't even the last stock for our Pokemon trainer, so it's going to be really difficult to do anything other than lose, in all honesty, as you really can't do much against Charizard.
Yeah, but remember, with how close the stock counts are this match, even getting this 1 stock off of Absol would be so critically important for a Fly to pull off, but he won't be able to do it. A great dash back F-tilt will secure the victory for Absol in a 2 stock, meaning he is going to net 5 more points for his team and bring the total score up to 6-11 in Marist College's favor.
Yeah, and that's going to be great for Marist. They're up by, 5 points? That's going to be a very high value for them to keep those points, because now we really have to see the others really overperform if they want to.
Yeah, and it's not like you started out with a lead from match 1, right? Like when you go to like a 5-point lead after match 1, you're like, oh, there's 4 more matches. I have plenty of time to catch back up. But this is match 3. There's only 2 more games left to play.
Right.
That you need to get solid wins for your team in order to be able to pull it out here. This 5-point lead is going to matter.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to take it to a quick break before we get into our 4th game. So it looks like we are going to have to run it to a break, and we'll see you guys in just a minute.
Mm-hmm. though, we have the game 4, possibly the deciding game of the match between Canisius and Marist here. We have Jarvan on the Robin going up against Randoman on the Pac-Man. Now, Randoman is a character who has had some very, very good...
Yeah, it looks like we're going to see a lot of value coming out from the Pac-Man, already 80% onto this Robin. And I really do think Pac gets the mild advantage here in this match.
Menace for all the people who have put up them. I do think Pac-Man has the advantage. He's got the Hydrant, and the Hydrant really puts in a lot of work, zoning out a lot of the projectiles that the Robin wants to throw out. The Lightning at full charge will go through, but that's it. It'll block everything else in the matchup, which just gives Pac-Man so much freedom and safety.
Yeah, absolutely. And safety is the number one thing Pac-Man's going to need to succeed. Right now, 120% on Robin Pac-Man. The very comfortable lead, but still with these 3 stocks left, this game has plenty of time to go either way.
A solid lead for him at 119. You've seen some really crazy setups with that Hydrant, with the key and the fruits that the Pac-Man can pull out to take stocks around these percents. And of course, Pac-Man's recovery is very, very good. It's hard to gimp him. Hard to make any early kills happen on him, so it's gonna be a little bit away for this Robin to find a kill. And there is one of the setups I was talking about. The up tilt does send the Hydrant at that incredibly weird angle that you don't expect. It's one of those setups that only really works once, but a great forward smash with that Levin sword even back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Pac had the lead and kind of lost it a bit, but that does not mean this series is over in either way. It's going to be very close. Right now, the Pac-Man finding that early game combo once again. Like you said, hitting the cheeky Fire Hydrant combo is difficult to do, the kind of thing you can only do once per game. And as well, finding a lot of value with the Fire Hydrant, keeping those safe options in the recovery off stage. It's really hard to gimp somebody who has 3 tries to get back without really sweating about it. So it's definitely difficult to play with Pac off stage.
Yeah, Pac-Man's a character you really just have to let get back to stage. There's not much to do about it, and already we see Randoman on this Pac-Man building a really big percent lead for himself. The forward smash all the way across the stage gets the kill for him too, and now 29% on Randoman gives him so much time to go to lead.
Yeah, 29% and a massive stock lead. I mean, it's almost a full lap on the stock. Pac-Man has plenty of room to really get aggressive and maybe use those cheekier Pac-Man combos that you don't see very often. Right now, a massive lead, going to use the Fire Hydrant to extend it even further, almost 100% onto Robin, and that is going to be kill potential. But just like that, the stocks are, there's the 1 stock difference, but the percentages are pretty much tied up.
The percentages are tied, but Pac-Man, with this kill power, going to actually end up dying to the Levin sword setup first from the Rob. Forward air to Levin sword, or forward B to Levin sword, a very, very classic setup to find. But 110 on this Rob means that most options from the Pac-Man will kill at this point, and it really just has to be Randoman finding one thing, and there it is.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just that Fire Hydrant for great placement and elimination usage of cooldowns. And the Robin really did end up bringing that back a little bit, lowered the points from 2 stock to 1 stock, and that could make all the difference in the end. Yeah,
it's important to note that now that Randoman has won game 1, the point difference is 6-12, meaning if Randoman wins this next game, he will guarantee victory for Marist College.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to do. It's something that's obviously what we're all here to do, is everybody wants to win matches, and Marist, they're looking like they could do that with relative ease here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Randoman winning game 1 pretty convincingly. It was a little closer than I think he would have liked. I think he would have liked to close it out as a 2 stock. He got hit by that setup just at the very end of the game, but it was almost a 2 stock, almost a JV. So if Randoman has another showing like that, which is entirely possible, Jarvan didn't really seem like he was adapting that much over the course of the game. So we'll really have to pull it out in game 2, find something big for himself, and keeps Canisius in it, because he is their last hope right now.
Absolutely, the last hope indeed. But Pac-Man, it's if you play him that well once, it's rarely a fluke. That is a consistent Pac-Man play style. He's a difficult hero to grasp and arguably one of the hardest in the game to find constant kill confirms with. But as we saw, this player here has no problem doing that. Marist are looking rather good to take the victory here.
Yeah, Randomain is a character who has impressed me week from week. He's always playing this Pac-Man, and he's always putting on a really killer showing on it. He's never really had a bad day. His performances are very, very consistent. So him being the guy trying to secure victory for Marist is, I'm sure, a position they are very happy with. It's exactly where they want to be right now.
Absolutely. As we move in, I just don't suspect we're going to see any aggressive swaps here. I think we're probably just going to see the same thing, Pac-Man versus Robin, because at the end of the day, they both got down to that final stock, so it was close enough for both players to still feel comfortable.
Yeah, I don't think either player is really going to switch. I feel like neither of these characters are like pocket picks or characters you switch off of. You're typically pretty committed when you play either of them. They're very unique and they have their own setups, so especially Pac-Man. Less so Robin, but especially Pac-Man. No one like plays Pac-Man and someone, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Pac-Man, like I mentioned a moment ago, is a very niche hero, a very niche character, one that takes a lot of time to learn effectively. So, like you said, I don't think someone's just, oh, I'm going to play Pac-Man. It's, oh, I need to play Pac-Man. He's the only character that I'm this good with, because he really does require a lot of play time to understand his kit as a whole.
Yeah, especially Randomain. I've never seen Randomain play anyone else, so I fully expect him to stay. I do have words from the captain's channel that we are going to be going to town and city in just a second. And what do you think about the stage in this matchup of Pac-Man going up against Robin?
I think any map with platforms gives Pac-Man an immediate advantage, and that's just due to the fire hydrant, due to the projectiles, due to the mobility. If you give Pac-Man more ways to hit you, he's going to take them. And I do think it might screw up the Pac-Man we're seeing here. It might screw up his play style a little bit because he relies a lot on those fire hydrants, pushing his projectiles, and that's a little harder to do on those platforms, especially when you can't use the fire hydrant as its own projectile due to the arc it might hit a platform, and that could screw something up. But I think platforms aren't really good for Robin to begin with, so I think that already gives a mild advantage to our Pac player.
Yeah, the platforms, very importantly, give Pac-Man a ceiling. He can put up the fire hydrant as a wall in front of him and then also have a platform over him to stop any downwards approaches from above. So it gives him a lot of pressure. So we're going to go to town somewhere that has those really high platforms that don't enable that, as well as some forms just don't have platforms on them at all. They're like mini FDs. So it limits Pac-Man's ability to keep you out and allows you more approach options.
Yeah, absolutely. The approach options, especially as Pac-Man, are the most important. You need to be making sure you have plenty. You need to be making sure your opponent has a ton. And that's really what we've seen from this Pac-Man so far, who is immediately going to take advantage of those platforms.
Yeah. He's going to go up there, charge the Galaga, doesn't fire anything out of it, a really good double fire. He misses the sword swing after, but didn't use 11 sword charge for that whip, so it's going to be okay. Another third fire hits, and he gets the 11 sword swing that time, and now already 54% onto Randomain is not an insurmountable early lead, but it's definitely something you're very happy with if you are Jarvan.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, that's, like you said, a mild lead, but a lead nonetheless. And the higher you get Pac-Man, obviously, the more likely he is to die to these rather heavy moves that Robin can present. We haven't seen a lot of them. We haven't seen any grabs coming out either, which I think are very effective for Robin's combos. But right now, it looks like Pac-Man just trying to find any kind of value in any kind of percentage.
Yeah, but he's going to miss his bell setup and need some jabs for it. 91% already means that with that 11 sword online, he has to be very, very careful. Randomain cannot get lazy, especially with his upcoming ledge trap. Robin is the character with such great ledge trapping tools that you have to be careful. Gets clipped by the fire, but there's no follow-up 11 sword, and now it's Jarvan stuck off stage against the Pac-Man. He's gonna make it back just fine, but it's really close. Both players really getting up there, looking to die pretty soon.
Yeah, both these players really getting up there, but the forward smash, it does it when you need it. When you need it. Pac player's best friend, arguably, in those situations. But just like that, can be turned around, and similar to the matches we saw earlier tonight, it's going to be incredibly close. One stock eliminated for both players already.
Yeah, a really great side B into 11 sword swing from Jarvan, evens up the stock out, and now we're back to 2 stocks, even game, low percent. Both players really looking for a big opening. Neither player finding any really crazy ledge traps for the most part so far, which is weird because both the characters are defined by it, but the hydrant placement blocks Jarvan from grabbing ledge. I didn't even know Pac-Man could do that. That's disgusting. And it's going to absolutely blow the game open for Random Man.
Yeah, without a doubt, Random Man suddenly in the driver's seat once again. And that forward smash but no, the DI does come out most when they need it. And right now, Random Man is looking to end this. 100% for a Robin is definitely within the kill zone, depending on what moves Pac-Man can find.
Yeah, 100% is one smash attack away. It's not impossible for the Robin. Robin is not a character known for his insane comeback potential, right?
Robin, definitely a character known more for having the lead, taking the lead, and keeping the lead rather than coming back from a massive one-stock deficit like this. Yeah. Pac-Man just trying to find any kind of value. In 133%, it's going to be the up smash, and that's really going to be the difference maker. Random Man comes out 2-stock lead once again.
Yeah, the up smash is going to take it. He's going to take the 2-stock victory. He's going to earn another 2 points for his team on the back of winning the set. He's not going to give a single point over to Jarvan, to Canisius College. And now, with a scoreline of 6-16 going into match 5, that is a difference of more than 8 points. It's a difference of 10 points, which means Marist College are going to be your victors for this set. They're going to take the victory over Canisius. Remember, we will still be playing out the match between MKL Rising and Rograt, but it's a little bit of a swag game, a little bit of a show-off game for bragging points. There's no wins or losses really on the line here. Marist College has completely secured it for themselves on the back of Randomain's really great performance.
Absolutely. I could not have said it better. And like you said, it'd be pretty unfair to not let all players perform. So we are going to run that last game of the night, or last game of this series. Sorry, we've got one more coming up after this.
A lot more than that.
For Gerbil and I, and then we've got even more after that. But for now, we're going to jump into a 1 or 2 minute break. So we're going to bring in the next set of players, and we'll see you guys in just a minute.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We are bringing you Game 5 between Marist and Canisius here. We have Rograt on the Incineroar going up against MKL Rising on Ness. And now last week, Rograt put an insane performance up on the Incineroar. He had some crazy comebacks, some crazy revenge kills, and he's definitely a solid player, but out the gate so far, he is taking a lot of an early deficit.
Yeah, most definitely taking the early deficit here. I'm a big fan of the Incineroar gameplay. It's not something you see super often. A bit of a niche pick himself, but like you said, Rograt last week was just putting in the work absolutely. Going up against this Ness player is definitely going to be difficult, but they're finding 123% actually isn't that much of a kill zone for somebody as heavy as Incineroar. So right now he can still play with this percentage a little bit, and of course he's at a higher risk of dying. The Ness should be much more worried about dying than Incineroar here.
Yeah, but I guess the Incineroar should have been a little more worried, as I don't even know what move killed him. That looked like such a jank hitbox that connected, but nonetheless, Rograt did go down, and it's going to be MKL Rising taking the early lead in this game one, but a quick back air evens up the stock count, but still 72% already on Rograt. You blink and you miss it, I guess. It's just absolutely brutal.
Yeah, this is most definitely proving to be a quick series already, but Rograt trying to bring it back as fast as possible, already finding almost 20% onto this Ness player here, and Rograt just putting in the work, or at least attempting to do so, but kind of taking himself out of the work in the very same process. So it's kind of a risky combo. Might even be playing a little bit more cheeky just because he knows no matter what he does, they've already got the win under their belts here. So
he definitely might be playing with no fear. That was either a no fear, it's over anyway uppy, or that was a misinput, and I'm gonna choose to believe it was the first one.
Yeah, I'm also going to choose to believe it was the first one. We'll believe Rograt's out here just trying to farm some highlights if possible, but going against the Ness as Incineroar is definitely a difficult matchup just from the very start.
Yeah, it is. Ness is such a good zoner, and Incineroar has such a hard time getting around that pressure, but all Rograt really needs is one or two really good hits per stock to make it happen. This game, we haven't seen him be able to find it, but next game, it could definitely happen.
Yeah, absolutely. This first game started off a little rough, and I think Rograt just kind of ran with that, but even able to take it down to 1-to-1 stock, but already at 120%. Ness can dump in some damage, and especially some heavy hits. There's definitely a couple ways Ness can take you out of the fight, but right now, Rograt just trying to avoid the JV2 here.
Nah, 159% just means max rage. Okay, Ness is on the edge of his life. Oh, maybe not.
Rograt goes for it again, but it just does not work out. Unfortunate.
Well, that was a game.
That was a game. That was I think Rograt definitely could have won that had he not killed himself twice. That really made a big difference there. You only have 3 lives, and Rograt chose to take 2 of his own, so it definitely made a difference there. But Incineroar, definitely a niche pick. Definitely struggled against that Ness as well.
Yeah, it could have made a big difference. I would have liked to see maybe some more revenges on those projectiles that Ness throws out. It's pretty free to hit those. The only concern is that you lose all your revenge if you get grabbed, and Ness is a character that does really like to go for those grabs, so you do have to be very careful. But overall, I think that's my number one thing is if you revenge like a PK fire and then hit him with that after, that's going to deal like 60% if it's like a side B or something. So that's the biggest difference.
The revenge is definitely not coming out as much as I agree they probably needed to, as well as we didn't see any side Bs from Incineroar, which is a really great move to farm early damage. And it was something that I expected to see, but we didn't really see any of them. So I saw Rograt really trying to make Incineroar like an off-stage aerial type hero character when that's not really how you should be playing him to the best of his ability.
We saw a good amount of side Bs, just none of them connected. They all got spot dodged or jumped out of the way of from MKL Rising, so it didn't really work out too well for him, but he definitely went for the option. Rising was just too good at getting out of the way of it. He played too smart, he played too evasive, and we'll have to see what the counter pick ends up being for the Incineroar going into the next game. I certainly think it's going to be a flat stage.
Most likely, yeah. Ness really does struggle on stages that aren't versatile, but they don't have platforms above or below them. So I think it would really value in the Incineroar player to pick a stage where Ness can't really run as much.
Yeah, and the grapplers typically like flat stages. There's no platforms for opponents to mix up their movements on. They get to just sort of be this big, beefy wall that you need to pass through to get where you're going. And the simpler the game is, the better grapplers are. And removing platforms like exponentially simplifies things for you.
Yeah, without a doubt, removing platforms, you've got one place to be, and that's really where the grapplers get to shine, is where they've got nowhere to run, they've got nowhere to hide. But it looks like as Rograt decides which hero to pick, we're going to see them jump right back into their select screen. So this is going to be just a couple seconds longer, but I'm sure we're going to be jumping in. And we see a Greninja. So sticking with the Pokemon theme here, but Incineroar, maybe not the choice.
Yeah, Incineroar not the choice. We are going to Final Destination because Greninja has really, really insane combos on Final Destination. He has really great down air setups, really great full hop nair setups, all of which platforms get in the way of. So this character excels on these flat stages. It also very much empowers the water shuriken because there's no platforms to move around it. It covers so much horizontal space in such a meaningful way.
Absolutely. Greninja pick definitely already making a big difference. 73% for our next player. So Rograt can afford to get very aggressive.
Yeah, he can afford to get aggressive. We saw he went for a really good jab block setup, but he barely missed out on it. But nonetheless, it is 6% to 106 here. A very, very early lead for Rograt.
Yeah, that's a very aggressive lead as well. One that you don't really see this aggressive this often. The Rograt's going to clean up that stock, just increasing that deficit even further.
Important to note, water shurikens are not considered energy projectiles, so they will not be absorbed by the PSI mag.
That is actually a great fact. I did not know that, so that's information for even me here. That's going to be great to use specifically against Ness.
Yeah. I was very surprised to find out, because things like Link's Fire Arrow are considered energy projectiles, but the Water Shuriken isn't. It makes no sense to me. I think it's a really funny fact, though.
Yeah, most definitely, but we see Greninja not even utilizing those long-distance ranges, instead just constantly staying in Ness's face, trying to dump in that damage as fast as possible, and it's paying off as there's over a complete stock lead.
Yeah, the extra credit is already racked up to the point where Rograt is lapping over Rising, and a great Shadow Sneak will take the second stock, and Rograt maybe trying to get a little bit of revenge after SDing twice in game one, trying to prove, like, nah, man, like, I can 3-stock you, chill, bro, chill.
Yeah, trying to make up for that double SD, a very unfortunate thing we saw earlier, but a funny one nonetheless, so I'm glad to see he's coming back, swinging a little bit harder.
Yeah, he's definitely out swinging in this game too. This Rograt Greninja looks very practiced, very clean. The back throw from Ness, hey, it's Ness. You're going to get back from, you're going to lose your stock. That's fine. He's still up an entire stock. Rograt feels absolutely comfortable still, and he's just looking to build percent and close things out pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you got that one stock lead. You're really looking to just get rid of this Ness as soon as possible and take us to a game 3.
Yeah, he's got the 1-stock lead, but he's taking a lot of percent here. His lead is dwindling bit by bit. He's not able to find those combos, those strings. He started out finding that. Almost was it. If he got that sweet spot, it could have been the kill, even at 60. It is incredibly powerful up smash.
Yeah, absolutely. And just looking for any kind of kill potential here, trying to keep this 2-stock lead, or this 1-stock
lead. There it is.
In total, the up smash is going to do it. Simple as that. Rograt comes in much, much better with the Greninja and ends up taking that round.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to see the Greninja stay for game 3. It's pretty specifically good on Final Destination and flat stages like that. So I wonder if we'll see a ban on Kalos and Smashville, or not Smashville, Town and City get forced out, and then he might switch back onto the Incineroar. I could see that happening. Yeah,
I think that would actually be the proper thing to happen here, because Greninja performs that aggressively as Greninja. You want to make sure they can't really perform that way again. So playing any map with platforms or simply banning the maps that don't have any would be the way to go. So the Incineroar, I think, is just as likely as the Greninja here. I think really either one of them could come out.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a solid toss-up. And from the side of Rising, between game 1 and game 2, I feel like it was mostly just the 2 SDs from Rograt in game 1 that really made it happen. I feel like even in game 1, when Rograt wasn't going for really crazy, ambitious options, he
Right.
was the one determining the pace. He was the one finding those big, meaty hits when it counted.
Yeah, absolutely. And they were very important hits to find and very impressive ones at that. We've now gone 1-1, and if Rograt hadn't SD'd twice in one game, I think this could have been a very efficient 2-0.
Mhm. Very interestingly, we see Yoshi's and Smashville are the bans, and Kalos is the pick. So I believe we're going to see Rograt end up staying on the Greninja because Kalos is another flat stage. So his
Yeah, we
opponent
noticed that same thing.
what? Yeah. So his opponent opting to take him to that flat stage when he knows he has that Greninja ready to pull out seems like an interesting pick. But if Rising is confident, and it could be good, maybe he just knows that Kalos is in fact the best stage in the game, and he just wants to end it there because nothing else matters.
Wants to end it where it looks the best.
True.
Yeah, there's the Greninja once again. So
Mm-hmm.
this is definitely, I'm going to give this a mild advantage just starting off to Rograt because this is a great map for Greninja.
Yeah, it's a really good one. Even this map compared to FD, Greninja gets the wall hop, which is very, very important. Greninja's recovery is good, but it's not amazing. But when you factor in that wall hop, you get so many more mix-ups he can do to delay his timings, avoid ledge traps, avoid ledge guards, and it helps him so much.
Yeah, definitely helps indeed. But right now, he's actually at a very large deficit here in terms of percentage. Trying to close that gap as quickly as possible. Going to find the grab as well. Already a 40% difference between these two, so it really could go either way if we are only on that first stock.
Ooh, up air almost killing, but luckily Kalos is a very high stage. Well, 120% on this Greninja means Rograt is not going to be feeling covering the air dodge off the yo-yo. I think he thought he was going to get stage spiked and wanted to tap. But that has like no knockback. It just interrupts your movement. So
Yeah,
he was okay.
The Rograt we saw in round 1. Things are not looking good right now.
Possibly. There's still a lot of time to make things up. He did get a really, really nice 2-stock for himself. So being at this early deficit is not the end of the world for Rograt here. He has a lot of great plays to bring out. And with 97% on Rising and only 20% on himself, he could take this stock very soon and even things right back up.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. It's 116% for a Ness is absolutely in the kill zone, so it's going to be very easy to find an elimination. But you've got to get the damage onto the Nest first, which Rograt is really struggling to do here.
Well, the damage is on, right? He's at 120, 128 now, but you need to find something with a forward air and up air. The Shadow Sneak will certainly do it. And now, stocks are even. Percent's only down 40%. That's like one solid combo away from being even. So now, it's looking better and better for Rograt again. He's making the comeback happen.
Yeah, making the comeback happen is what you're looking to do. He's only 30% at a deficit here, and he's really trying to prove or find the value that he needs to turn this back around. Things started very nasty combo coming out. Rograt takes the lead in the blink of an eye.
What an incredibly clean Shadow Sneak from Rograt. Immediately knowing exactly how to capitalize off of that opening he made for himself. And now, Rising stuck in disadvantage, barely gets out punching that Shadow Sneak, and he's falling so behind. This extra credit is building incredibly fast for Rograt.
Yeah, no doubt. Building fast indeed. Just trying to find any elimination now, trying to keep these two stocks and gain as many points as he can.
Ooh, really close to looking for that up smash setup. The drag down into the sweet spot up smash, not quite going to be enough to do it. A little bit too low percent on Rising, but something like that happening again will certainly take it. And Rograt playing for pride, looking to make the 2-stock happen, not going to do it. The back throw from all the way across the stage is just still too strong, but the jab lock setup will take it. A 1-stock victory for Rograt will bring the final score for Maris versus Canisius up to 21-7. And what started as a pretty close set, incredibly close after the first 2 matches actually, ended up becoming very one-sided in the end. After the first 2 matches, Canisius earned 1 more point for themselves in total, and Marist earned 15.
Yeah, that was that last map in particular was very close, and things looked great up to that point. But that is going to wrap up that one. And I know that Toxic Gerbil and I have one more series coming up for you guys in just a couple of minutes, so we are going to jump to a quick break, get that all figured out, and we'll see you guys in literally like very, very soon, so don't go far.
everybody. We are getting into my final match of the night, as well as Septilince's final match of the night. We're going to have two more after this one for you, but we're going to be signing off after, so hopefully it is a banger series. We have Siena College going up against St. Peter's University here. We have Ricardo on the Captain Falcon, that he is known for, that he has farmed clips on, going up against Waffle on Sonic.
Yeah, Ricardo, a beast of a Captain Falcon, to say the least. Absolutely puts in the work on this hero, who's always the easiest hero to play, but has definitely shown us that Captain Falcon can be played in matchups you wouldn't believe. And right now we see the Sonic out as well. Sonic versus Captain Falcon is a bit of an interesting matchup, as Falcon hits a lot harder, but Sonic is one of few characters faster than Captain Falcon himself.
Yeah, Captain Falcon's biggest advantage is his speed, so going against Sonic, that's kind of all but negated, which makes it a pretty good matchup for Sonic, you have to imagine, unless Ricardo knows something I don't, but it doesn't look like he does, because he is out to an early deficit here. 116-276 means that Siena's Waffle is going to be looking for just one solid move to set up this kill and take this first stock, but Ricardo definitely not trying to give it to him. He's going to try and find something, make use of this rage while he can.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to take, like you said, you want to take advantage of that rage as early as you can and try to make sure it pays off now that you've gotten to such a high percent. Ricardo misses that early engagement onto the Sonic and actually almost pays for it with his life there. So Captain Falcon desperately struggling to stay alive, but the back air is going to do it. And now put our Sonic up one stock over Captain Falcon.
Yeah, the one stock lead is very important because Sonic is a character with a very slow hit-and-run playstyle, so having the lead allows you to slowly snowball it further and further. Luckily for Ricardo, he is able to find that up B, even up the stock count immediately, and not let the Sonic pull that off.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, it's an even game. They both have two stocks. One stock has been eliminated for each, and there's that mild 30% deficit difference between these two, but that really could not matter as Captain Falcon can deal lots of damage in the blink of an eye.
Falcon's damage output is really, really crazy. Sonic's damage output is not good in terms of one combo messing you up, but he's so good at not being hit for extended periods of time if Waffle is able to play it properly on the Sonic, but it doesn't look like that's the case so far. Percent staying very even, both players just trading blows back and forth.
Yeah, trading blows, that's the best way to say it, is they're just ripping each other apart, but Sonic, with that forward aerial, is going to be able to find Ricardo and take them off the map, finding that extra elimination. But there we go. Back to boot once again, these two now down to their final stock.
Yeah, but if this pattern continues, it will be Waffle coming out on top of the one-stock victory. He's been the first one to take the first stock both times, and now Ricardo at 83. That's a big, big deficit to be at against a character like Sonic who can be so consistent. Yeah. But a really great combo from Ricardo answers right back, and a knee on an air dodge. What's the one rule, dude? You don't air dodge against Captain Falcon. You don't.
The knee could not have been better timed. That was just a phenomenal execution of that knee as a whole. And I mean, the Sonic absolutely paid for it. Like you said, what's the one rule playing against the Captain Falcon? And they just do not air dodge. And right there, Sonic made that mistake and paid for it with their life. So that's going to be a 1 point for our Captain Falcon. And that was a good look. Like you said, Ricardo definitely knows how to play that Falcon well.
Yeah. St. Peter's, I believe, I did like a little cursory check of the standings. I'm pretty sure they are undefeated so far. They won against Niagara last week and won pretty convincingly against them. Before that, they played against... I think they might have had a bye. Oh, they played against Hawaii. Oh, no, they lost to Hawaii 2 weeks ago. I forgot about that. Yeah. Even an incredibly close set, but St. Peter's is without a doubt one of the top two teams in the league. They are incredibly solid.
Yeah, solid indeed. And we're going to jump right back into these two solid players, sticking to what they were just on, respectively, being that Captain Falcon and that Sonic.
And you have to imagine, as the Siena lineup going into this match, like, you know your good players, X-Roy, Waffle, they're all great. They've had great showings in the past. But when you're going up against a team on the caliber of St. Peter's University, I have to wonder if that starts getting into their heads a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting into their heads is probably the number one thing they need to be worried about.
Now Ricardo got a little bit of an early string for himself, but immediately answered back by Waffle. And now offstage, the forward air is going to kill off the side. An incredibly important early stock, only 55% on this Sonic, means that he has so much time to build his lead.
Yeah, the Captain Falcon definitely seemed a little bit lucky getting that knee last engagement, and that really could pay for your Sonic is ready for it. It will be much harder to find eliminations like that.
Oh, wow. Waffle's not able to make it back. And now, just like that, an insane reversal for Ricardo. He evens the percents right back up. And now it's a Waffle who's getting comboed. Waffle who's stuck in disadvantage. And Ricardo basically bringing percents back to even, bringing the game back to even.
Yeah, even almost to a T, almost to a percentage at 64 and 71 respectively. But, ooh, that's going to be it. That's going to be a lot less than even as Ricardo, all of a sudden, blink of an eye, is back on top.
That Ricardo goes for some of the most insane options. That's two times in a row. Yeah, that's 2 times in a row he's forward smash, just completely draw on a hard read. He goes for a Falcon Punch while I'm talking about it too, and now 65% on Waffle. He is very behind. He needs to take this stock off Ricardo very soon.
Yeah, Ricardo is just putting in the work, and like you said, this Sonic has to find the value, and they're going to have to find it fast, because Ricardo is currently just looking for the cheekiest possible options they can find, and they went for the down smash, or the down air, but unable to find it there. And right now, just trying to end this with both stocks online, but if Ricardo keeps playing so risky, he may end up getting a stock for it.
He might, but with 120% on this Sonic, it's looking pretty hard to throw. Sonic is not a character that kills you fast, so there's going to be a lot of chances for Ricardo to find the kill, and right there, even just a dash attack takes it. And that's going to be 2 more points for the 2 stocks going to St. Peter's, plus 2 on top of that for the win. And it's going to be a very strong early 5-0 lead for St. Peter's over Sienna.
Yeah, a 5-0 lead is an aggressive one, to say the least. Good. That's arguably one of the best ways you can end up at the beginning of this. And, other than maybe a bunch of 3-0s, but it's still a great place to be. A 5-0 is something you never want to shy away from. And we'll have to see if they can continue this lead when we get our next players into the lobby. So we're going to jump again to the quick 1-2 minute break, and we'll see you guys in just a few.
is Exeroy on Banjo and Kazooie going up against Azumi from St. Peter's on this Young Link. And funny enough, we saw Banjo versus Adult Link earlier in the night, and I believe the Banjo took it pretty convincing.
Yes, yeah, the Banjo did take that one pretty nasty, but I personally do think Young Link is better than Adult Link in this game, so I do think we could see a value coming out for the Young Link that is already here a little bit with a 50%, with 50% already online for this Banjo. Right now, we're going to have to see a lot of damage come out quickly, and we're going to have to see this Young Link Azumi utilize projectiles much better than their counterpart we saw earlier today.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Young Link is better. He has more mobility, and mobility is always king in platform fighters. But out the gate, he is falling behind to some really great ledge trapping from Exeroy on this Banjo.
Yeah, no doubt on that. The trapping is just a fantastic thing as we see that they're not giving the Young Link a lot of opportunity to use projectiles, and that's obviously the best way to counter a projectile-based hero is don't let them use projectiles. So right now, we see this Banjo-Kazooie taking massive advantage of that fact, and they have a lead, whether it be large or mild, it's still there, and it's going to be rather aggressive for both these players, because now they're both getting danger close to kill potential.
Yeah, Azumi takes the lead back once he's able to find his own footing on the stage, but now it's 121 to grenade hitting the lead again, and the get up punished super hard by the forward smash is going to give an early lead to Exeroy, and the Wonder Wing will actually get him back to stage safely. Really well played by Exeroy here.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well played indeed. And Azumi, 50% on that second stock Banjo, not even dropping the first one. So we definitely see a difference in play style and just aggression as Banjo can really afford to get right in this Young Link space.
Yeah, and Azumi really going to need to take this stock very, very soon here. There it is. That extra credit was really starting to rack up. If he got higher than 52, it would start looking quite bad for him, but 52, especially when you're playing a character with projectiles like Young Link, can be racked up. It can be made up with your projectiles, just ticking on that damage. So it's not an insurmountable deficit.
Yeah, definitely not a deficit to end it yet, but 86 to 42, again, not a horrible thing, but definitely not a to be in as Azumi on this Young Link. It can come back from this. It's still 2 stocks per each of them, but it's going to be a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, now at 109%, Azumi needs to be very careful. Something like a Wonder Wing or a Smash Attack will take a stock, and Wonder Wing is what you really need to look out for. Banjo can really just let that rip if he's ever at disadvantage and feels uncomfortable. But the forward smash almost kills, and now it is Exeroy stuck off stage trying to get back on. He gets back on past Azumi, past the ledge trap, and now things are basically dead even. It's whoever lands the first solid blow is going to get the lead.
Ooh, yeah, they're really going to have to find it quick as Rage is online for both of them. They're both ready to deal a little bit more damage than normal, but the down smash from Azumi finds the top of the map elimination onto the and gives them a lead that I don't think will exist for too long.
Yeah, I do not see this lead lasting for very long, but if it does, oh, goodbye. There's no if. It's not. But anyway, yeah, back to it. The projectiles from Azumi are racking up a solid forward smash, builds the lead up to 40%, now 60 after the jabs, and Azumi kind of running away with this last stock, trying to at least.
Yeah, definitely trying to run away with this last stock. Like you said, 66% already online, so just trying to put in the work and put in the effort to give themselves this lead and just the win of this initial round.
A great boomerang to stuff out the approach from Exeroy, and now at 91%, Exeroy really does have to be afraid of dying to a smash attack, to something like that down air that we just saw get the forward air. Also catches the Wonder Wing startup before the armor kicked in, and it's going to give Azumi the game 1 win.
Yeah, the game 1 win for Azumi is going to be huge for the team as a whole, is taking Banjo-Kazooie out, specifically Banjo-Kazooie, who is rather difficult, just enemy against anyone. And so to see Young Link come out on top of that engagement, as well as when it started to look very rough at the beginning, shows some great adaptation from Azumi.
Yeah. Importantly, Azumi, already on the winning team, brings St. Peter University's lead up to 6-0 so far. Now, by no means is that a condemning lead. Exeroy could win the next 2 games. At worst, the lead could only then be 2 points, even better for Sienna. It could even go into their favor if they're very convincing wins, but it's pointing out a worrying trend as we go into game 2 about this matchup between St. Peter's and Siena.
Yeah, most definitely a worrying matchup, or a worrying trend indeed, as we've seen just victory after victory. And you said the score was 6-0, which is a difficult thing to really come back from. But like you said, still quite possible if we saw some very convincing wins.
It's possible, but they'd have to be convincing wins to tie things up. And after how that game 1 went, I think these players are pretty evenly matched. I don't think we're going to see anything very convincing either way, but when you're the team in the lead, you don't need to be convincing. If you go completely even for the rest of it, you'll win because you started out with that lead. So yeah, it's really, the pressure is really on Xroy to make something happen. It has to be him to do it.
Xroy definitely has to find opportunities. And like you said, it really comes down to their performance as a whole and as an individual on whether or not they're able to turn this series in their favor.
It's difficult. The players are reporting a little bit of input lag. So we are going to investigate it real quick. It looks like they're sorting it out. I don't think we're going to need to go to a pause or anything crazy. We'll keep you posted on that. I think we might go into picks and bans pretty soon, but yeah, just going down the line. I know Bivers and Pango are very, very good players. I don't actually recognize the name Knight for the Siena College lineup, though, so we'll have to see what happens there. I know Kufi, Jazzy G, and Ramen are all really, really good. Those are the players left to play for St. Peter's, so no matter what, even if Xroy pulls out something crazy, it's still going to be an uphill battle for St. Peter's University. They are, without a doubt, one of our most dominant teams.
Yeah, one of our most dominant teams indeed. It's going to be something aggressive to see if anybody can really continue to take games on them or take games on them as a whole.
Mm-hmm. But that being said, I think we are going to cut to a quick break, try and sort out this lag problem. It shouldn't last more than a few minutes, and we'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible.
Yep, couldn't have said it better. We'll see you soon.
everybody, welcome back. It seems we weren't quite able to deal with the lag problem entirely, but it was manageable. It's a reasonable amount, so we're going to continue playing, and we are getting back into the action between Xroy and Azumi. Once again, it's Xroy on this banjo for Sienna, and it is Azumi on the Young Link rocking the Azumi tag.
Yeah, Azumi rocking the Azumi, like you said, on that Young Link, who won our first round, and it looks like they're getting ready to win our second. They already have an 80%, make it 90% lead almost onto this Banjo-Kazooie, but it could end in the blink of an eye as Banjo-Kazooie puts out a lot of damage and combo potential very quickly.
Yeah, the Banjo can really rack things up, but on a stage like this where you don't have platforms to extend your combos, you can't just keep the train rolling, and there's so many great projectile options from the Young Link that the stage really helps them out. I'm not quite sure I completely understand this stage counterpick. I feel like it's where I'd want to go if I was the Young Link in this case, and it definitely looks like it is working out really well for him so far.
Oh, yeah, I agree that I would pick this stage if I was the Young Link. I would not pick this stage to counter the Young Link, because as the Banjo-Kazooie, you need those platforms and that mobility to not constantly be berated by these projectiles. That's exactly what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there it is. The forward air takes the first stock. 86% on Azumi is reasonable. That's 1 or 2 hits away from being solidly within kill percent, so it's not a terrible deficit for Xroy to be at, but the longer he takes to even things up, the more extra percent he's going to eat, the further the lead is going to extend for Azumi, and the worse it's going to look.
Yeah, absolutely. Azumi just extending, taking this extra credit and running with it. They now have that Rage online as well. 50% offline for this Banjo-Kazooie. They get 60, as right now Azumi is just dumping in the damage, but the forward air out of nowhere will catch Azumi off guard and find the elimination.
Yeah, the forward air takes it. 68%. 1 Wonder Wing used for Xroy is not where you want to be. It's not comfortable, but it's a lot better than being down something like 2 stocks or being like 100%. So it's definitely okay, but if you keep eating these projectiles just like this, it starts looking really bad.
Yeah, it really is going to start looking bad, but barely makes it back 125% versus Azumi, who's barely taken any, only at 15. Right now has a fantastic opportunity to make this a 2-stock. Yeah, and that down air is that's all that's going to matter, and now it's going to be 2 stocks versus 1 stock. Azumi hardly taking damage on that second stock.
Azumi barely taking anything. Xroy does get his Wonderlings back. He was low, but now he only has 5 to get through 2 stocks from Azumi. That is a high hill to climb, a tough task, especially if you're going to eat this fat combo from Azumi.
Yeah, definitely a difficult thing to do indeed. And Azumi, like you said, just dropping a massive combo, still up an entire stock. Sienna really getting a run for their money, as now it's going to be very difficult to take not 1 but 2 stocks on on a Young Link when you're already 50% on your final stock.
Yeah, 50%, not that bad. Ooh, so close to having the space gun on F smash. If he got that, I'd say it was winnable for him. But right now, 74%, still can't find a way, and can't find a way to even up the stock out. Eating more and more percent, just getting whittled down by these arrows and these boomerangs. It keeps looking worse over time for Xroy.
Yeah, definitely looking worse as time goes on. Xroy just being caught out time and time again by this Young Link, who's still on that second stock and now has the Rage to boot at 158%. That's all it's going to take is that forward smash, and that's going to find the elimination on the Banjo.
Yeah, that forward smash just holds up the shield, eats the Wonder Wing just fine, drops it, gets the forward smash, and gets a 2 stock for his team. Now the score, after a 1 stock into a 2 stock happening twice, is going to bring it to 10-0 in favor of St. Peter's University, meaning even if their next player for Sienna College gets a double 3 stock, they will still be losing, and that is when the match really starts looking dire. It's going to take performances from multiple players performing really well, getting dominating victories in order to tie things up.
And hopefully those players can bring that to the table. But we're going to throw it to that quick break, drag our next player in here, and we'll see you in just a minute or two, so don't go anywhere.
so we are here for Game 3 between Siena College and St. Peter's University. We have Jazzy G on their classic Palutena going up against Knight on Shulk.
Yeah, Knight on Shulk here, playing a very aggressive play style, which in my opinion is what needs to be done to counter a Palutena. You need to get close and you need to stay close in order to keep her out of landing her combos, just like she is right now, landing that double up air combo. Right now, Shulk had the win, and then, or had the advantage, and then all of a sudden threw it away because they got too far away and gave Palutena an opportunity to breathe.
Yeah, and Jazzy G really landing their combos nicely, finding the hits they need to. Building a solid percent lead, but Shulk, a character with some insane properties, really crazy disjoints, crazy range, crazy reach, and really solid kill potential as well, especially against Palutena, a character who has a really predictable recovery, needs to go to that ledge. Shulk has a really easy time clipping Palutena under the lip of the edge with the forward air, and it almost killed Jazzy G right there. Yeah,
that's a lethal move and a very important one to hit. I mean, it's ironic to say that Shulk would clip Palutena's wings, but it does make sense at the end of the day. Yeah. Right now, this fight, just similar, so many we've seen today, is so incredibly close.
Yeah, it's so very close. And in a matchup like this, where both characters have so much brutal combo potential, whoever gets that kill first is going to have such an immense lead going forward if the other player cannot immediately answer it. And in that Smashman auto, Jazzy G is playing with fire going for that down tilt.
Yeah, no doubt. Definitely playing with fire, just trying to find value very early on. And there's only a 10% difference between these two, so to see the intensity of how close this match can get, both of them well over 100%, but neither of them having dropped a stock yet. This match could take a little while.
It could. That back throw barely not killing, but the up smash will clip Knight on this Shulk, and now it's Jazzy G who needs to get off this ledge against Shulk. They manage it perfectly, and now they have a great chance to build up extra credit. If they hit him there, it's going to be 40%, but the jump Minato lets Knight go deep, even things straight back up, but here could be a big combo. Shield Minato, probably not where you want to be. That is how you get comboed to infinity. Knight realizes, swaps out, and is going to live another day.
Yeah, I'm almost sure that Knight may have not meant to hit that jump. I don't know how fast he swapped off of it. Definitely looked like maybe a misinput or just an error. But it looks like he's not going to pay for it quite yet. There's only a 50% difference between these two, and it looks like Knight is looking to close that difference very quickly.
Yeah, they're trying to make it up. The Buster Minato looking for damage, not quite finding it happen, but at 90% to 60, it's Jazzy G once again with the early lead. We saw this in Stock 1, but it ended up not mattering all that much in the end.
Yeah, like you said, it didn't really matter that much in the end, but they are desperately trying to make pretty much anything happen at this point. Both of them, again,
great grab.
Very close.
The Shield Minato on Knight will keep him alive, but it will mean that he can't apply any more pressure. He'll just eat the shots and fall further behind on percent. This Smash Minato needs to get value. If this Smash Minato doesn't kill, Jazzy G is going to be living for another 20%. And there it is. The grab even, the throw even comes through at the end of the Smash Minato, but it didn't quite kill.
And Knight just barely makes it back with that jump. Minato would make a massive difference, 150 to 92. And that's going to be the elimination, keeping Knight, or excuse me, making Knight back in that deficit.
Yeah, last time we saw Palutena, I was talking about how she really doesn't kill you before 120, right? And the same is still true here, but if you get caught in that Smash Minato, those positive benefits Shulk gets are also come with a negative, and Shulk can die very early to that Smash Minato. A little bit of a weird drift from Jazzy. I think they didn't have their double jump there. Something definitely happened, but 1 stock to 1, percent even, still slightly in Jazzy's favor, but this Buster can rack on so much percent if you let it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can rack on an insane amount of percent very early in the Shield. Minato once again coming out. You don't see Shulk
off,
very often, but it looks like Knight seems to be switching into it for just a couple of moments before throwing himself back out of it. So right now, it's not really making the difference I think they wanted to.
Yeah, the Shield Minato is good for dropping out of big hits, but if it comes up while you're getting comboed, it means that combo is going to get extended in the same way a Bowser is very easy to combo as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, only a very small difference between these two, 20% almost between these two fighters, both on their last stock, but Knight getting very close to that last hit as well.
Yeah, and now we see the shield Monado coming out when Knight is at that 114%, doesn't want to die to anything stupid. Great tech by Jazzy, keeps him alive a little bit longer, and now percent dead even to the Smash Monado is so terrifying, and that's going to be it with Smash Monado. No way.
No
Perfect DI from Jazzy.
Yeah, could not have been better. And that actually might bring Jazzy back. Just when we thought Knight had that in the bag, Jazzy somehow survives with just impeccable DI.
Great facing. No, who dies?
Oh, Knight has to be at least a little upset with the outcome of that. Oh, like unlucky's not even the word at that point.
Yeah.
That just hurt.
That had to have been like a magic percent.
Yeah.
Literally 1 more percent, and Jazzy dies to that Smash Monado back throw.
That was unfortunate, to say the very least, for Knight, who really brought that down the wire, but just wasn't able to secure that win in the end there.
But yeah, props to Jazzy for clutching it out. Like, we can call Knight unlucky, but at the end of the day, Jazzy kept cool, and they clutched it out hard.
Absolutely. It definitely made a big difference at the end of the day. And like you said, kept their cool, kept their head on their shoulders, and that really, at the end of the day, made all the difference.
Yeah. There's I play Palutena, and there's a Shulk I get matched up against in my region all the time. I have played this matchup more than like anything else, I swear to God. And I hate it. I hate playing against Shulk. But at the end of the day, I actually don't think it's that bad for Palutena. I just think I suck. I think that Shulk's forward air is a disgusting move. Infinite disjoint hits so far in front of him, it can 2 from the ledge. It's one of the best drop zone moves in the game, and we didn't see Knight getting insane value out of it that game. Palutena's recovery doesn't have a lot of mix-up, especially if she doesn't have her double jump. But even if she does have her double jump, drop zone fair, we saw it, I think stock 2 with a jump Monado is an incredibly powerful tool in this matchup. Yeah, Palutena has a really hard time recovering high, so you can just go out there and it will work.
Yeah, most definitely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And like we talked about earlier, this is one of those matchups where it's just, if you're not better than Palutena, you're going to struggle a little bit to succeed. And I think we're really seeing that here with Knight, who's just doing his best in order to make a big difference, but he can't really find the value yet. And he might be able to here, as we saw that first round was incredibly close.
Yeah, I mean, we can say he can't find the value. That was like literally the closest game we've had so far. So I think these players are very much evenly matched, and this could go either way in game 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Buster is on, which means this ledge trap could be very, very deadly. 63%. 72 already on Jazzy. 82. Oh my god. This Buster value is disgusting, and now we're on Smash. He's looking for the drop, so Knight not able to find it though, and Jazzy just going to sit on the ledge, wait out the Smash. Really smart gameplay, but 93% racked on by that Buster Monado is really, really huge.
90% in the first 30-40 seconds of the match is really not something that you want to see happen very early on. It's very aggressive, like difficult to succeed with, but so far Knight able to keep the momentum just a little bit is proving to be very worth it.
That being said, Jazzy has basically evened up percent and not getting sharked out too hard by the Smash Monado. Great air dodge through the drop zone fair that I was talking about. Jazzy, completely aware, really knows how to play this matchup.
Yeah, Jazzy playing with a level of patience that you truly need to not only play Palutena, but to play Palutena against the Shulk. Constantly waiting out those Monados and trying to make the difference, and slowly able to do so as nobody, again, has lost a stock quite yet. This is going to be a very long round. Yeah,
and great DI from Jazzy, but unfortunately getting hit too far, they're not able to make it back to stage. And now, speed Monado when your opponent's at 0% is absolutely menacing, but Jazzy able to keep their composure, and now just trying to find a way to end this stock, but the shield Monado will make it very difficult.
Yeah, the shield Monado and the Buster Monado coming out as well, just trying to dump in damage where damage can be dumped. It's currently, Knight has that lead, but it is ever so slight, so they really want to take advantage of this extra value they have and the extra life they now have at their disposal.
And now this is such a great opportunity for Knight to build this percent lead. Jazzy really unable to find any good way to take the stock. Already at 43% here means they have to be so careful to not give anything else over. They finally do take the stock shot.
Yeah, like you said, they finally take that stock, and it's not quite tied up, but it looks a lot better for Jazzy.
It's a lot better, and now this Nair Strike, especially if Knight goes into Shield Monado, could be huge. He realizes he swaps out, but already percent's back in Jazzy's favor.
Yeah, Jazzy all of a sudden able to turn this fight around in the blink of an eye, able to make it a very not a very close fight to a very quick one after finding that first stock.
Really, really close so far. 97, 106 in jump means the Shulk is so light, so killable, but Jazzy not able to find the ledge trap opportunity to capitalize on it. And at 56% to 126, this kill has to be coming soon.
Absolutely, this kill's got to be coming out quick if Jazzy wants to keep the lead, but the longer you let this Shulk live, the more the rage builds up and the more these Monados are going to mean. So right now, you've got to get this Shulk off the map as soon as possible.
Yeah, I think the Smash Monado is going to come out. Never mind. Great back air. So important.
Yeah, it was really very important, very nicely executed. We saw that it paid off and found the elimination on that stock, and right now, Knight going to the depth trying to find that elimination is able to do so.
Nah, Shulk is a fair character. Don't even worry about it. No, just don't worry. It's fine.
Yeah, Shulk, one of few characters in the game able to do that and lift and tell the tale, and there's no.
But this Buster is so big.
Yeah, the Buster gonna be pretty large here. They're just trying to find any kind of value, and right now, Jazzy in that deficit, but we know that Palutena may be a little bit more likely to confirm this stock.
Yeah, Jazzy evening up the percent slowly but surely. Started out at about 60% deficit, now only down to 30, but a good grab, a good opening for Knight. He's gonna clip the Palutena under the ledge. And that's what I was talking about, how broken forward air is, how far under the ledge it is. It's going to be Knight taking the one-stock victory, putting Sienna on the board, and taking the set to a Game 3.
Absolutely, and like you said, going to a Game 3, and I feel like we haven't seen one in ages. Both those games taking a very long time. They are able to come out to that 1-1. Just barely we saw Knight, clutch that engagement, and it made all the difference. Now we've pushed it into a Game 3.
Yeah, it's a Game 3 going forward here, and it's down to the wire, especially with how important this is for Knight to win. If Jazzy takes this next game, even in a one stock, they earn 3 points for their team, bring the total to 14-1, meaning that the last two players from Sienna would need to make up a 13-point differential.
Yeah, and that's all but impossible. That is a very difficult thing to do. You'd have to play flawlessly and not drop even a single frame as these individual players. So they're really going to struggle to do anything like that. But like you said, it really is going to come down to this, because if Jazzy comes out on top, it's going to make that deficit even harder to conquer.
Mm-hmm. But on the flip side, right, if Knight gets a one stock here, he earns 3 points for his team, brings it to 4-11. That's only a 7-point difference, and that's completely doable. Over
True.
2 players making up 7 is completely reasonable. So I don't want to say the entire match is on Knight's back in Game 3 here versus Jazzy, but it's pretty close to being that way. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely. Knight has a very tall order to fill, and will probably struggle to do so. We saw both of these ended up going to map 3, or excuse me, stock 3, and that we've now ended up on this final map engagement. So it really could go in either player's favor. Yeah,
don't forget, Knight was like 1% away from winning Game 1 as well. Right?
Truth.
So now we are on Jazzy G's counterpick. That's very important. We have to remember that. But Knight has been looking better than Jazzy, has had the advantage over Jazzy for the majority of Game 1 and Game 2 so far. So it's completely reasonable to believe that he will be able to win this Game 3. But as we get into it, we'll have to find out.
Yep, Game 1 and Game 2 came down to the wire, and here comes Game 3. Like you said, it's not necessarily on Knight's shoulders entirely, but pretty stinking close. So all things considered, Knight's really got a clutch here for his team.
It's a 6-point potential swing difference. It's really, really big.
And right now, things not looking great for Knight as an immediate 46% combo comes out in the first 10 seconds of Jazzy.
Yeah, and he's stuck on shield, so the combo just keeps coming.
Jazzy coming in very hot.
Yeah, really, really great early lead, but that's like 2 Buster forward airs. That's nothing. It's fine.
Yeah, you'll really have to land simply 2 moves as Shulk to really tie this back up. But hey, like you said earlier, is absolutely...
Footstool? Oh, okay, Jazzy makes it back.
The footstool there would have been nasty.
It would have been insane. But no, Jazzy is able to recover. They do have the awareness to make it back just fine. But out the gate, Jazzy great parry, not able to find a down tilt for to punish though. 100% though on Knight means he has to be very careful of something like a back air or a up smash coming in.
Absolutely, an up smash or a back air would both absolutely demolish Knight in this engagement, so he's really going to have to play much more careful in order to take out Jazzy on this Palutena, but a Palutena with a 50% deficit in their favor is quite a terrifying thing to go up against.
Yeah, Palutena is such a solid, consistent character that when you fall behind, it always feels so bad. It feels like the best you can ever do is go even. So once you're behind, going even means you're still losing.
Yeah, and that's arguably the scariest part is, like you said, going even, you're still at a loss, so that's quite a terrifying thing to consider. And we do see Knight making up the difference, 40%, 50% difference here between these two, and it looks like they're struggling to do pretty much anything. They keep swapping Monados, but just cannot find the damage they want.
Yeah, we saw the Smash Monado come out, but not able to get any value out of it. The back throw, not quite going to kill, not quite close enough to the edge of the stage, and there's the down B counter. I was wondering when we would see that come out, and there it is in Game 3, when it matters most, but an immediate response from Knight evens things back up.
Yeah, it was destined to happen eventually, like you said, and it finally did. Evens things back up relatively. Knight made that stock last a very long time, and found the value they needed with it to make that stock all worthwhile. So now we see a slight advantage for Knight in the lead, but of course that'll turn around as soon as Palutena hits even half of a combo. So we'll see this change very quickly.
Yeah, percent back to relatively even, and what is one of the closest matches.
All right, I'm going to talk as if we lost my co-caster because I believe that we do, and he was just mentioning that this is one of the closest things that we can see. No, go ahead, Dribble. Sorry, we lost you for a moment, so I was just
okay. Yeah, hello, welcome back. Hello. Yeah, so we do see percent are pretty even here. The Smash Rattle comes in. This could be a really big opportunity. It's going to be a drop zone. It's not, okay? But the Smash Rattle wears out now, and now Jazzy can rest a little bit easier. Back outside kill percent, great pressure, but the grab doesn't connect. That back throw could have been incredibly high pressure, and now it's Jazzy getting ledge trapped, makes it back, but still just stuck in disadvantage. Jazzy cannot find their feeding firmly on the ground.
Absolutely, and Jazzy really struggling to find footing, like you said, and that's going to make all the difference for Knight, who's been able to not only tie this up, but ever so slightly take the advantage in terms of percent. Could ever got the shield Monado, which again, a danger swaps right to speed, the much smarter choice in my opinion there. You're going to be able to find a lot more
Smash.
The map. They're gonna and it's going to find Palutena's fingers. Her wings have been clipped, and now Knight has taken the lead once again.
Yeah, you can't hold on to the ledge like that. I know it's scary to get up into the Smash Monado Shulk, but he will clip you on the ledge. And now, 115 on Shulk means he's not going to be dying that soon. 130 now puts him a little bit more in danger, but he can buster freely. He doesn't care at all about his percent, and he just wants to rack up as much percent as he can onto his Palutena. Shield Monado great here, too.
Yeah, right. Like you said, Shulk right now, he's just got that extra stock. This is the perfect opportunity to dump as much damage as possible and not really care about your stock or the outcome of this remaining life because you know you've got one more. You've got one more than your opponent as well. So this is really a great opportunity for Knight to really rack up the damage.
Yeah, and this pressure from Knight when he's in that speed Monado is absolutely brutal. Very importantly, he's never getting caught with his back to, or his front, I should say, to the blast zone. It's always Jazzy getting these forward throws instead of the back throws, which is saving his life, but some awkward drift, avoiding a move, actually ends up sending Knight into the blast zone, but still a 60% lead for him means he has to be feeling confident on this last stock here.
Absolutely, the stock is coming through slowly but surely. 60%, nothing to shy away from. That's a massive lead to have, especially on the final stock. So right now, Knight is looking to say goodnight to Jazzy here, just trying to find this elimination.
This should be huge, though.
Jazzy just looking for any possible opportunity to combo.
Yeah, Knight stuck in disadvantage over Jazzy, stuck on top of that platform, finally makes it back down, but ate a lot of percent for it. Only 30-40% separating the two players means it's completely usable. Another combo is probably going to be coming out for Jazzy here too. Baits out the shield Monado perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you'd want to do in this moment, is just try to get any Monado out that you can and hope that it's not the Smash Monado, but instead that's going to be the one coming out from Knight very quickly. who is really only a couple of hits away with that Smash Monado out.
Yeah, this is the ideal percent to have the Smash Monado where your opponent would die to it, but you wouldn't. It's exactly where you want to be. But Knight doesn't find value. This Shield Monado is bad. He needs to get out of this.
Yeah, he needs to get out of this. He needs to do it quickly.
Yeah, no capitalization from Jazzy. Not quite able to find it. And now the Smash Monado is so terrifying. And there it is. Knight clutches it out.
Yeah, Knight says good night to Jazzy and makes this a little bit more winnable for his team. Had he lost that, it would have been a massive deficit, but all of a sudden, his team can see the light once again. They're going to come back and they're going to do it hot.
Yeah, okay. The difference between 1 to 14 and 4 to 11 cannot be understated.
Huge. Astronomical difference.
Yeah. Now, Pango and Bivers, both very solid players. Ramen and Kufi, also very solid players for the sign of St. Peter's University, but it is completely doable. Pango, the team captain, the rock for Siena College, is going to be coming in, trying to close things out for his team. 7 points is the difference between these two teams, which really does not put too much pressure on the shoulders of Siena players. If they get double one stocks for both of them, they will come out with 8 total points. Or if they get double one stocks, they come out with 8 total points, meaning it will be 12 to 11, and they will win. So the pressure really is just on them to win, and the dominance of their wins don't matter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The more dominant they are, the just better that is. And we'll see how dominant they can really get against their opponents after this quick break. We're going to pull in our next competitors, and we'll see you guys in just a minute.
Hello, welcome back, everybody. We have Bivers going up against Goofy here. I believe it's Bivers. No. Pango, I believe, is the Fox player. I actually don't remember, honestly. But we have Goofy on the DDD. That is what we remember this being. And already out the gate, it is a very, very nice early lead for Bivers on this Falco. And this matchup is really bad for DDD, like real bad.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that same thing. This is a horrible matchup for DDD. Falco is just fast. He does a lot of damage, and you can never really catch him when you need to find him. So I think DDD is just going to consistently struggle with this.
Yeah, the most important aspect of the matchup is those lasers. DDD is an incredibly slow and large character, which means there's absolutely nothing he can do to get out of the way of lasers. And that reflector reflecting Gordos. All of DDD's neutral is completely shut down in this matchup. There's no good option for him.
Yeah, there's really not a good option for him. That's a great point. He really can't do much against the Falco. He's going to maybe find the elimination, so going to make it a little bit closer than we initially expected, that's for sure. But it's definitely going to... Yeah, I feel like we're really going to struggle to do much other than maybe get accidental or cheeky kills.
Yeah. No, like, Kufi is a really good player, so he can find the stocks for himself, but the problem is this matchup is just... Like, it's so bad that even if you're playing better than your opponent, you have to play so much better to get the same ground. Like, already look at this. Like, we don't even see Bivers doing anything really crazy. It's just the DDD has no option, so he's down 50%.
Yeah, and like, as the Falco, like you said, you don't really have to do much. You just have to do enough, and that's really not a tall glass with a DDD as your opponent.
Yeah. I'm surprised we aren't seeing more lasers coming out from Bivers on this Falco, but he's definitely abusing the reflector properly, finds a great forward smash, and now he has a 2-stock-to-1 lead with only 67% on his name.
Yeah, 67% on his name, and he's got one stock with DDD right now, who's just using the Gordos maybe a little bit too freely. One reflect of that Gordo is going to send it back much faster and much harder.
Yeah, for sure. Great stage spike, though. Kufi making the matchup work for him. He's finding the openings he needs to, despite all the disadvantages. He's playing really great, but he's still behind in the end.
Yeah, and that's really going to be the difference maker, is being behind. No matter what point in the map it is, you never want to be behind your opponent. Quite the way that this is. And honestly, DDD has made this a much closer series than I ever could have expected. And even his looking, I want to get ready to take it home right here.
Yeah, he's looking for the dunk off stage. He's looking for the big edge guard. He's not quite going to find it. But Bivers down in percent for the first time and getting ledge strapped means he has to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, uncomfortable, most definitely. He's definitely being pushed into here. And as a Falco, 90% against a heavy hitter like DDD. Oh! Everything I was about to say goes out the window. The Falco finds a fantastic hit off stage. Knocks DDD straight down. No tech available. That's going to be a very easy win.
Yeah, DDD is a big, slow character in the air, so he is the prime target to go for those fat dunks on.
Yeah, absolutely. He can survive in the air for a little while, but that by no means means he's good up there. So DDD definitely paid the price of being such a large target against a Falco, and that's going to be the one-stock victory there.
Yeah. Overall, I really do think Kufi played that game better, but the matchup's like literally like 70-30, it feels like. So.
Yeah, it's a very difficult matchup as that DDD. I mean, it's the fact that he even brought it that closer, that they were even capable of getting to that last stock is beyond impressive against a Falco as King DDD.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say for like, what do I want Kufi to do better here? It's like, dang, just don't use Gordo as DDD. Like, how can you say that? How can you say that?
I feel like DDD, just a difficult character to begin with, so to play, especially against Falco, is just hard. It's just a difficult thing to do.
The problem is, it's almost like a rock, paper, scissors where Falco tends to come out on top, right? Like, if Falco goes for the lasers, the Gordos look better, but if he goes for the reflectors, just like approaching is better.
Absolutely.
It's just this really, really hard balancing act where even if you send out the Gordo, it might still hit the laser and get sent back at you. It just feels so bad.
Yeah, definitely rough. But they're going to go back in. They're going to run it back. It's going to be Falco v DDD once again, which again, I don't know.
Kufi's dedicated.
Something crazy. Kufi's going to have to just absolutely blow our minds on this DDD.
Kufi is dedicated to the character. He does stick with it. We're going to Smashville. I'm not quite sure if this is a better stage. It's definitely better than a Tri-Flat. Falco is a character that for sure loves Tri-Flats.
Yeah, it's not going to make a huge difference, I don't think, for Kufi, but like you said, definitely better going against a Falco.
Yeah. It's much better. Maybe this top platform gives him some more freeness to move around with. It gives him that extra little bit of mobility option. So he's not just going in a straight line, but also it doesn't really let the Falco extend his combos too hard. So it's a little bit of the best of both worlds.
Yeah, most definitely the best of both worlds, indeed. But Kofi right now, somehow, just up in the percentage, but not finding the value. Never mind. Scratching out the value. Nope. There it is.
I think Bivers just panicked a little bit. He was in his shield. He recognized he gets shield broke, but instead of rolling, he just dropped his shield and got hit instead, which is not what you want.
Yeah, that's definitely not what you want. That's the exact thing. You probably don't want. That shield just did not do its job, and that really made all the difference. Kofi now having the rage, but again, you can't just Gordo down main like that. Like, the Falco's gonna be ready. He's gonna deflect 10 out of 10 times, and Kofi just 8, 40, 50% damage because they keep doing that Gordo.
Yeah, that Gordo is so unsafe, but you have to go for it sometimes. Like, if you never do it, your opponent never has to respect it, and then they're still winning, right? So you just, it's mixed strategy equilibrium. You need to figure out the right ratio, but I do agree. I think Kofi is doing it a little too much still.
Just a little too recklessly. That's really the mistake. I'm not even sure they're doing it too much, rather than just not doing it unpredictably. Every time they do it, it's just a 100% prediction of, oh, well, yeah, it's going to come down for it.
Casually at 220% now. I want to point that out.
Very casual.
A light wind should kill him, but it looks like Bivers is not quite able to find it. Oh, that was way too close to being a full rage F smash connecting the Bivers. Kofi going deep, Bivers going deep, both, they're just both going down there. Okay. Good respect from Bivers to not get hit. Very important.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. Kofi is still rocking that 220%.
237 now, yeah. You just cannot die. That is the one big problem with Falco in the matchup, is Falco is very restricted on kill moves. Down tilt, forward air, back air, up smash, up air are going to be what does it. And those aren't the easiest moves to just straight up hit raw, but even that being said, Kofi surviving to 220, Bivers is still on his second stock, evening up the percent as I speak.
Yeah, Kofi's second stock, like you said, 140% as a Falco. That's a tough place to be, especially against, like I said, a heavy hitter like DDD.
Mm-hmm. But look at this, it's like already almost back to even.
Yeah, in the blink of an eye, DDD almost loses that lead, but then makes sure to confirm it by eliminating that Falco once again, giving them that one stock advantage.
I think Kofi's just playing this so well.
Yeah, like I said, Kofi's going to have to absolutely blow our minds with the performance, and that's exactly what he's done so far. And we've just seen Kofi performance. Yeah, even better performance right there at the end. That was just flawless.
Is that a 2-stock?
Kofi
2-stock for Kofi.
Adapted very quickly on that game.
My God. All right, that'll bring our score to 5-13.
Oh.
Which means that there is exactly an 8-point difference between these two players. Which means if Kofi wins, he guarantees victory for St. Peter's. And if Sienna wins, it'll still be an uphill battle.
Yeah, no doubt. It'll be an uphill battle, to say the very least. Kofi right now just looking to secure that win for the team. And if he can play like he did there, if they're able to play that same way that we just saw, it's gonna be the difference maker.
Mm-hmm. But now it's going to be Bivers' counterpick in this matchup. Kofi has to ban Yoshi's story. Bivers cannot take him to Battlefield because he already won there. But Kofi will have to ban Yoshi's story, as well as probably Final Destination. And then we're probably going to end up on somewhere like Kalos that is also very flat and doesn't give Kofi any weird angles to approach from. It's just him and a Falco in a straight line, and that is not how this matchup wants to be.
Right, yeah. Final Destination, I think, could end in Falco's favor if we just saw consistent Gordos from Kofi like we've been seeing, because that just obviously stacks up a lot of very easy damage very early on. So it could happen, and I think it could go either way, but I do predict Kalos is probably going to be the map we see.
Yeah, I think the FD is going to be banned. I think the laser is just way too powerful on FD.
That's very true. The laser finds a lot of unprecedented value. It's just not really do against it.
There's no way to get around it. All right. Yeah. it looks like the bans are Lilat and FD, and then the pick is Yoshi's. That feels like a big oversight. Leaving Yoshi's open.
Yeah, Kofi may have made a mistake there, not banning Yoshi's. That's kind of No, that's
Triplats are Falco's bread and butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how you eat up air to 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 back air and you die. Like.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's
like
this fight to a T.
But we'll have to see if he plays it out. We've been giving Kofi so much smack for how awful the matchup is, but he sticks it out with his main. He takes it. He gets taken to this tri-plat. Game 1 on the tri-plat already looked a lot closer than it probably should have. So it's completely possible.
Oh, and I really thought Kofi killed himself there. That would have been quite unfortunate, but no, somehow able to survive and currently just trying to bait Falco into falling off the map. Everybody's off stage. Kofi's dead. Wow. All right. Not a great start for a final map. Kofi's glass of water just got even taller.
That is so important for Bitters. I legitimately think Kofi is playing a lot better than Bitters right now in this set, but with that early lead going to Bivers, I think it's going to be so difficult for Kofi to make anything happen. Look, he's getting platform cans. He doesn't have the mobility to get to Falco on that top platform. There's no way for Kofi to make anything happen on this stage.
Yeah, this has just been a mess for Kofi. I mean, they almost have that first stock off of Falco, but at this point, it doesn't even matter. You're already down almost 2 stocks. If another stage spike comes through like that, you're done. You've got to stop playing like that.
Good up B to catch the lag on Falco's up B, but still down 88%, losing stage, losing matchup. It's looking so bad.
Yeah, it really is looking quite bad. And I mean, you can only hope that you're gonna do your best, but right now, even Kofi's best might not be able to break that back.
Yeah, it's looking rough, but the bright side, Bivers isn't finding these nasty tri-flat combos that I was talking about earlier. I think Bivers back this time. Yeah, he's winning. Okay.
Kofi is just allowing this Falco to find a lot of hits as well and a lot of high value for really no reason. He's not playing safe and he's not playing around the Falco the way he maybe should be.
The problem is if you don't approach the Falco, that's how you eat the reflectors, that's how you eat the lasers. You can't dodge them when you're as fat as DDD is. So it's a no-win. If you don't approach, you lose, and if you do approach, you get stuffed out. But once again, Kofi at 175, he's living to a really high percent.
Yeah, Kofi on that second stock at 180, just trying to make anything happen, but unable to do so quite yet. All this DDD play that we've been critiquing somehow is currently in the lead in this engagement, and that to me that goes to show how impressive Kofi really is on this DDD.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say critiquing, I'd say praising. He got a rage down tilt to kill, and is now leading on his opponent's counter pick in a bad matchup. It's absolutely insane how hard you have to work here. Oh no!
He jumped right into it too.
How could you have known though? That's such a weird angle.
That's true. That's very true.
Alright, this is for the marbles, by the way. This last stock is for all the marbles. If Kofi wins this, St. Peter's University wins. I want to re-emphasize that.
Yeah, this is kind of the last. This is the final straw.
Mm-hmm. And Kofi is winning. He's up 45% right now. That's a big lead, very relevant. One solid hit, like a forward smash, would certainly do it.
Another Gordo that Kofi is just not letting go. He wants to get the kill with that Gordo, and he's not going to stop trying.
Great spot dodge up tilt, putting Bivers in disadvantage, but he makes it back down. It's so close. No way. Oh my god, Kofi's the favorite.
And he does it. Kofi's an absolute legend.
What a legend. Insane.
That was impressive. I feel like impressive isn't even the word. That was amazing.
That was stellar.
Kofi just masterclassed DDD for us on a counterpick stage.
Like, watching that game, I don't think it looked nearly as bad for DDD as it was. Obviously, the DDD won, right? How bad can it look when you win, right? But like, I actually feel like it's a doomed matchup. And Kofi just comes out on top.
Yeah, from the start, we were both mentioning, is DDD winning this? It's a 70-30. It's a difficult thing to do. And then Kofi said, hold on, let me watch this. And it just absolutely proved us wrong and just gave us a phenomenal performance on that DDD.
Not only is it important just for like Kofi's pride as a player, like win that insane matchup, it's important for St. Peter's. That locks St. Peter's into the victory. 5-16 means they are 11 points ahead. And this match between Pango and Robin is going to be just for show, because even if Pango gets 8 points, it can only be 13-16, and St. Peter's University still wins.
Yeah, we are just putting on a show for you now to close out our evening. So it's just, we're putting together something for you, and it's going to be these two coming at you in just a minute. We're going to go on what it will be our final break of the night, and we'll see you guys in just a little bit.
Back to the final game that I am going to be here with Septilence with. It's Pango on the Game & Watch going up against Ramen on the Robin.
Yeah, Game & Watch against a Robin is going to be the difficult matchup for sure, but Game & Watch definitely has the capability of coming out on top, especially...
You think it's difficult for the Game & Watch?
No, I think it's difficult for the Robin. I was just about to say, I think Game & Watch can come out on top of this very easily. They can keep that up close and personal play style, which we're seeing right now is working out a little bit for Pango, but we do see a lot of good spacing coming out from Robin as well.
Yeah, I think the most important part of the matchup is that bucket.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bucket absolutely shuts down 50% of Robin's game plan. But Ramen has been doing a great job in this first stock of not feeding that bucket, even though Pango has definitely been fishing for it.
Yeah, fishing for the bucket indeed, just constantly trying to find some way or another just to find an elimination.
Yeah, but not quite finding it. 118 on Pango as he just looks for these buckets, and Ramen is just absolutely not giving it to him.
Yeah, Pango just trying to make any value at 120% as Game & Watch. I mean, you're a flick from death here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Game & Watch, the third lightest character. I believe it goes Pichu and then Jigglypuff and then Game & Watch.
That sounds about right.
Ooh, great forward smash. Catching Ramen's drift, though, actually means that Pango will be the one taking the first stock and taking the early lead for himself.
Taking the early lead is the most important thing to do here. Pango, like you said, found that very crucial elimination. But out to 150%, that's amazing to see a Game & Watch even get that high of a percentage.
Yeah.
You could just look in the face and you could blink at him and he's flying away. It's going to be difficult to do much. Oh, he missed a full charge bucket, but at this point, you've got so much room to wiggle. The bucket didn't really make or break anything.
Yeah, the bucket doesn't make or break anything, but you would have loved that, like,
Oh, absolutely.
50%, you know?
Yeah, no doubt on that.
Okay, back row should kill here. Yeah, yeah, it kills. Okay. And now, percent's back lower. It is Pango's second stock, but Ramen already in the 80s means he cannot be feeling too safe here.
Yeah, Robin definitely looking out to not be eliminated early on again, because that one stock advantage for a Game & Watch is what's going to make all the difference at the end of the day. So Pango just dumping in a lot of damage, already 90% on the opponent versus 12% in their own elimination bank here. So they're definitely coming to do pretty much anything.
Great parry.
Wow. Yeah, a fantastic parry is going to help clean that stock up without a second thought.
On Wi-Fi, parrying like that is real hard, let me tell you.
Yeah,
but
definitely
can
difficult.
both be up. And now Pango, a full stock ahead of this Robin. We said this matchup looks very, very good for the Game & Watch. Even though we haven't seen the bucket actively be powerful in the matchup, the important thing is Ramen can't do things that would fill the bucket. Which means the game plan, even if we don't see the bucket actively getting value, it's just passively limiting the Robin.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's constantly causing that limitation, like you said, and they're struggling to find any high value that they want to be finding right now. But it's Robin, 130 on your last stock against a Game & Watch. I mean, you could only use, what, 3-4 of your moves before you really sign your own death certificate?
Yeah. And there's still a whole nother stock to get through, and that's going to be Pango taking it clean in a 2-stock.
Yeah, Pango definitely giving us quite the performance there, really coming out on top of that engagement.
Yeah, he's trying to keep it close. You know, his team lost already, but he's trying to make those redemption points happen. You know, he wants the score to show like they did not lose hard. It was a close one.
Right, and I love few things more than good Game & Watch gameplay, and I'm glad we get to see that here. He's a hero you don't see very often, a bit of a niche pick, and I mean, that's just perfect evidence that Game & Watch is a force to be reckoned with.
Game & Watch is incredibly powerful. He's a character that was very, very underrated at the start of this game. Absolutely. Nobody really thought he was good. A lot of people, it took so long for people to figure out how to use that forward air. Everyone thought it was so much worse than his old credit card swipe, you know? But over time, I think it was Meister really started showing everyone just how good that Game & Watch was. And he's risen. He's shot up the tier list.
Yeah, Game & Watch, a very effective character. One, like I just mentioned, you mentioned as well, very underrated. Everybody thought, oh, he's so light, he can't get anything done. But if you can land combos as Game & Watch, I mean, they are terrifying.
Yeah, Game & Watch's defensive capabilities are insane. He has possibly the best out of shield option in the game in the form of his up B.
Absolutely.
It's fast, combos, and unpunishable. It's everything you want to escape pressure. If there's a Game & Watch in shield and you miss space, it's over. And now the players are playing for fun. Steve versus Captain Falcon.
Pango on the Steve. I'm so excited. This is the first Steve I get to cast. I am over the moon that Steve is going to be busted out. And Pango better do me justice here. I've been waiting all night to see a Steve.
We'll have to see how practiced it is. And I've never seen Ramen swap off that Robin either. So we'll have to see how good this Captain Falcon is, as well as Ramen pulls out the full golden skin, you know, showing off how he won. Maybe a little bit of BM.
Yeah, these two definitely just playing for kicks at this point. Oh, yeah. Show for everybody involved. But boy, am I glad to see it, because this is looking like it's going to be a pretty good matchup.
Yeah. Oh man, not a whole lot of mining going on from this Steve. There he is. He's getting some iron, some redstone in his inventory. It's really important to cycle to that diamond on your first stock. So as soon as you spawn on your second stock, you have that diamond ready and you're powering yourself up. If you die without hitting a diamond, your cycle gets reset.
Yeah, right now, Pango giving a great example of how to play Steve and doing it rather making a couple questionable choices, but they have been all working out so far. He needs to get a lot more iron in that inventory, or get any at this point as the anvil came down. The iron now gone. They have a lot of dirt to work with. You're going to need a little bit more than that. Yeah, but it's so hard against Captain Falcon. He's so fast. You don't really have a lot of time to sit there and mine. You're not against a slow zoner. There's the diamond, yeah. There's the diamond. They're going to need it a little bit more iron online as well. And the TNT, oh, just frames. Literally, there was such a small window they could have screwed that up, but they still found it in between frames. The minecart hits the double hit as well. And right now, Pango just trying to put in the work on this Steve.
Yeah. Steve has such an interesting dynamic where he actually is a stronger character on the second and third stock. Most players consider it too risky to spend the diamond on the first stock, but now we're going to see Pango respawn, immediately craft this diamond set of tools, and now the real fight begins.
The real fight indeed. It's been amazing so far.
No, both these characters are just so entertaining to watch. The novelty of Steve is so great. He is just absolutely like no other fighting game character out there, and it's so great to watch.
Yeah, Steve is, like you said, very unique compared to any other fighting game character out there. And I mean, it goes to show that adding a new character to a game can change the entire pace of the game. It's fascinating to see how people play Steve versus any other character in Smash Ultimate.
Yeah, just so incredibly interesting. And Pango up a lot here. 160 to 18 is the lead for him. And the dash attack with that diamond pickaxe, obviously incredibly strong. Going to kill, and now Pango off stage, placing blocks, stalling out the invincibility, an incredibly powerful technique to be able to pull off.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
A full stock lead for this Steve here.
Pango just absolutely dumping in full stock, like you said, trying to find some cheeky hits here, just using the blocks to kind of bounce around, hits the down air, and just finding value here is the important part. Just constantly looking to get this Falcon off the map, juggle him around, and just use that up smash over and over, and it's been working out.
Yeah, already another diamond in this Steve's inventory, and with the Falcon at 135. Oh, man.
Oh, wow. That was great. Yeah.
Like that.
That was pretty nasty. Pango really just busted out the Steve and said good night to that Captain Falcon. That was an amazing play.
How can I call St. Peter's University the winners when Siena College's Pango pulls that out at the end? Unfortunately, I can call them the winners because they scored more points. But
yeah, true. That's a great point. That definitely that was a match, all right.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see I don't know. I'm curious to see if Pango's going to stick to that in the future. Steve is such a niche pick.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I think it's definitely still in the development stage. It's a fun pick still. His Game & Watch looked incredibly clean. But that being said, congratulations to the lineup for St. Peter's University taking this match over Siena College, only losing one match their entire time playing in EGF this season. An incredibly impressive showing. I had a great time. I hope everyone in chat had a great time. If you like the broadcast, make sure to follow the Twitch channel. Make sure to follow EGF on Twitter at official EGF. And if you liked having me here, make sure to follow me at toxic_gerbil. It really, really helps me out if you do.
Yeah, most definitely. Couldn't have said it better. You can find me on Twitter at the same name. Pretty sure it's right underneath me, so I'm just going to assume that it is. But that's all I've got to say, and I think that's going to be it for us tonight. There's plenty of games left on the main channel and on this channel coming up right after Gerbil and I get out of here. But for us, that is going to be it. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching. But for the time being, this will be Subdolence and Toxic Gerbil signing off.